Hello everybody, my name is Patrick Hild and I'm going to show you how to work with Citavi 6, that's the Windows application, and Citavi Web, that's the system independent solution that lives in your browser, to use them both at the same time, either in a team where some people have Windows computers and others on Mac, or if you have several computers and want to use both solutions. First of all, you need a license for both, or for, depending on which application you want to use. There is an offer to have both the Citavi desktop and the Citavi Web solution as a license. Okay, so you log into your account. I'm already logged in, and in your account you'll find your licenses, and here you can see my Citavi Web and Desktop bundle license, which allows me to use both programs. Okay, then from here I can go on to Citavi Web, the three dots, and then here is my Citavi Web solution. I can create a new project here, or I can open the sample project, and I open the welcome screen, the Citavi 6 welcome screen, which is basically the same thing. There's the news on the right hand side as in the web, and there's the sample project, and here there's the possibility to open new projects. Okay, I will first start with a local. You can see here that's the file symbol. That's a local project. I'll open that on Windows, and we'll transform that later into a cloud project, because in order to use it with Citavi Web, it needs to be a cloud project, because Citavi 6 can work both with the one you're seeing now, can work with local projects and with cloud projects, but Citavi Web can only work with cloud projects because it's a web application. So what I do here is I click File, Copy to Cloud, create a project copy in the cloud, and I call it Alfasoft ODD. Next, and I archive my local project. That's the best, probably the best way, because that avoids me working with one or the other project without realizing it. Then I might make changes in one or in the other one, and that would create confusions. Okay, so this is the cloud project now. You can see here, cloud project. The local project is closed. This is the cloud project, and down here you have two buttons, and one says one user online. So this is I'm in the cloud now. Okay, now what I can do now is I go to Citavi Web, and you can see here it is. So automatically it appears also in Citavi Web, and I open it. So this is the same project opened in the web. It's slightly different, as you can see. References, text, knowledge, task. And if I go to Citavi Desktop, Citavi 6, reference, knowledge, task, the texts are actually here in the preview. in the right-hand column. So basically the same features, but distributed in a slightly different way. But I'll walk you through and show you how to use either one. Okay, now whenever I change something, like here the implications and way out, let's say way in, I click on a different title or into a different field, and Citavi saves in the background. Now if I go back to here and search the references, Agaraje, let me see, there he is, and you see here it says way in. Let's change it back to way out, click into a different field, saves the background, back to Citavi 6, way out again. So you see it's synchronized immediately. Now if I want to work with several people, I can share a cloud project. I go to File, this project, Share. And this gives me a new window where I can invite team members. I add their email address, give them a role, reader, author, project leader, invite them. Then they can open my project depending on the role I've given them. They can open the project, but of course they need their own license. So that's obligatory. They need their own license, but I can invite them to my project. Same thing in Citavi Web. Here there's the two guys, team options, enter the email address, reader, author, project leader. So same thing, same feature. I can invite them to share the project with him. Now let's insert a new reference. I'll insert one here. How is that done in Citavi Web? I click on the blue button here and say add reference, book, journal article, or another of the 35 reference types available. I'll not do that now because I just end up with an empty title. I'd have to fill in everything manually, which normally is not necessary because books have an ISBN number, and I can select that here and type the ISBN number. See if I get that right. Okay. Search, and let's see, here it is. Apply selection, and now I got the title here. The title I inserted the ISBN number. Okay, now in Citavi 6, the button is in a different place. It's here, ISBN DOI other ID, and I can enter here. Let's try different. ISBN number 3232161. Let's see if I got that right. Yes. Okay, add to project. Okay, so this is how it is done in Citavi 6. To add a new book. Now this is the easy way to enter books that I already have. They're sitting here on my desk, and I'm adding them to Citavi, to my project. Now what I want to do now is add journal articles. I also have them already, but they're on my computer. They're stored on my computer. Let's see. here I've got a couple of PDF files. And what I do is I take them and I drag them into the left-hand column. And what Citavi does in the background is it opens the PDF file and it looks for the DOI, the digital object identifier. Let's get that a bit bigger. You can see it down here on the first page. This is the DOI. Citavi searches in several databases for this DOI. Here it finds it in PubMed, gets the bibliographic information from PubMed and adds the PDF file to the title. That is how I can add PDF files I already have on my computer. Now let's do the same thing here in Citavi Web. Again, the plus and then PDF upload. And what I do here is I drag and drop the files here into this field. It's importing the references, and here it is. So same thing, same feature, got it also from PubMed, and this is how I got. And you can see here, this is the PDF, which tells me that the PDF is added to the title. So it is very easy to add PDF files. What I can do here, if I have more than one, I can search and then add a whole folder. And the same in Citavi 6. I go File, Import, then PDF files, next folder of files, including subfolders. Now, if I've got a couple hundred files, I'd just add them and go and have a coffee. And Citavi would take care of it. Now, this works most of the time, but not all the time. It does not work if the PDF does not have a DOI. So if there's no information where to get the bibliographic information from, does not work then, or if the PDF file is just an image. So if it was put on a scanner and it's not OCR'd, if the text is not recognized, then Citavi cannot recognize it. But in that case, here the fields would be empty and you would see it on the right hand side. So you could then add the information by copy paste or by typing, but you'd have it right on the side. So that's not too complicated either. Okay, so this is how to get the titles that you already have into Citavi. The books, you enter the ISBN number, and the PDF files, you just drag them into the interface. That's the titles we already know about. We already have them. What about new titles? How do I search for new titles? Now that is easy. There's two possibilities. There's an online search integrated into Citavi. So I could click here and then select a database or catalog where I want to search. There's a couple thousand catalogs available. And you could search also multiple databases at the same time. The fields, you search for them, you enter them. That's the possibility to do it directly from the interface. And the same is also available here. Plus online search. And here you also have catalogs, you add them, the fields, and you search for them and you enter the information into Citavi. That's one possibility. I will not show you that. That's very easy. There's another possibility, directly from the browser. To do that, it works for both Citavi 6 and Citavi Web, but in order to make that work, you need a plugin installed in your browser, and the plugin is called the Citavi Picker. because it picks the information from the web page. Here, the picker is already activated. No, it's not. I deactivated. Okay, they're gone. Now, when I install Citavi 6, the version, the program that's installed on your computer, when you install Citavi 6, Citavi, during the installation process, recognizes, finds the browsers, and then automatically installs the relevant pickers. There's a picker for Edge, there's one for Chrome, and there's one for Firefox. And they're automatically installed, but you might have to activate them. How do you do that? You click here in the case of Chrome, click on the extensions button, manage extensions, and here it's not activated. It's here, but it's not activated yet. So click here, and then you might have to click here again and pin it. And then you have it here at the top. For Citavi Web, it's slightly different. Here, because nothing is installed if you work with Citavi Web, right? So here you have got in Citavi Web the add-ins and settings button, and here you have the picker, and you can install the picker. And here it says Chrome because this is a Chrome browser. If it was Firefox, it would say Firefox here. You install the picker, you install, and then you're good to go. You might have to activate it again, and then you simply import the stuff. Now, how does that work? Here, you saw that already. When the picker is there, you get these buttons on the web page. Now, where do they come from? Citavi scans, if the picker is installed, it scans every web page, and it scans it for IDs. Here, there's the DOI, the digital object identifier. Citavi recognizes that as a DOI and puts the picker symbol behind it with a JavaScript function integrated that allows you click on it, and Citavi simply imports the reference into the project. Now let's finish the picker, and then you'll see here you get a new symbol, the green tick mark, which says you already have that. So if you go to another page and you already have the title with that DOI in your database and the database is open, then you'll get the tick mark automatically, which will tell you you already got this title, even if you don't remember. And this is a little PDF symbol, so it tells you you also have the PDF of this title. So this is one possibility. You simply click here on the picker symbol to import the titles. One important thing here, let's click on that, the project. This is the current desktop project. If I click here, I logged in before. This is Citavi for Windows, the current desktop project. I could also select Citavi Web, and this is the Alfasoft ODD. They are the same currently because the current desktop project that I have open in Citavi is the Alfasoft ODD. But I could also here select simply Citavi Web, and then it would also go to the same database. It's the same thing. It's just because I have both programs open now that I have these two possibilities. But here it's important, if you're working with Citavi Web, you might have several projects, and make sure that you have the correct project selected to get the data into the right project. Okay, so this is how to import titles via the browser. Now there's another thing. Sometimes information is on web pages, like here. This is a research report, but it's a web page, it's not a publication. How do I get this into Citavi? Very easy, the picker. here, add web page as reference. Here it doesn't matter if it's the current desktop project, as I already told you. Add web page as reference, and it imports this web page now into Citavi. Okay, let's go to Citavi 6 and check it out. This is the information that it found on the web page. It's a little scanned, but okay, show in preview pane. This is an integrated browser, and it shows the information as if it was directly in the browser. Now the nice thing here, that's a feature that's available in Citavi 6, but not in Citavi Web for the time being. You can save this web page as a PDF file. Now, why would you want to do that? Because web pages tend to disappear. All the information on the web page is changed, is updated. And you want to refer in your publication to a web page that's all of a sudden is not there anymore. But if you have stored it in Citavi as a PDF file, the information is there and you can use it. Here you would make sure that the information is correct. Here, food fraud, but there's a different date. It's in from 2016. The last update here, Citavi got it wrong because somehow it was not displayed in the web, in the metadata correctly. So make sure that whatever you import, you have to check if it's correct. Okay, so this is how to get both information from online catalogs and from web pages into Citavi. Let's go to the web project and see here already. Also, you get it here, and the titles we just imported, you have them directly also available in Citavi Web. So this is how to get both titles you already have, titles, books you already have on your desk, and new information that you discover into Citavi. Now let's go on to the next step. Citavi allows you to structure the information in different ways, and what I want to show you is the categories. Same here, Citavi 6. Click here on the category column, which opens a new column here on the left hand side. Now what's that for? I'll expand them all. These categories, as you can see here, introduction, definitions, cases, causes, and in the end, conclusion. This is the outline of my paper, of my book, of my dissertation, whatever. So I can create that already in Citavi, which makes it a lot easier later when I go over to Word to write. Why? Imagine you want to write chapter 3. Concentrate on chapter 3. What you would probably do is you put on your desk the titles that you want to refer to. So the books and the articles. So you can easily double check that you get the information right. You can do that with Citavi. And I'll show you how. Here with these categories. That's a project that I created before. So you have it here, but it's very easy to add information to it or new categories. I just select one category and then I click here on the symbol, new category. And it says new category, so sub introduction. And with the arrows, I can demote it as a subcategory, so a subchapter, right? Or if I decide that no, definitions should come after the cases, I simply move it down with the arrow, and then the subcategories, the subchapters are moved automatically with the definitions. Let's get rid of that again. Doesn't make much sense. Okay. Now, what I do is I have the books that are not categorized yet, the new books and the texts that I imported, and I will assign them to this chapter 4, causes of food fraud. Now, simply drag and drop them to this category, like this. Let's go over to Citavi Web. These are the categories. And I can here edit the categories. As you can see here, same thing. I can add new categories and new subcategories. And I can drag and drop the categories as well, or move them with the arrows down here. So same feature, same thing here. And to add, let's go here to the no categories, the titles without a category, and I simply drag here. This is this dotted line allows me to grab the title and drag it onto the category to categorize it. And you can see that here it categories, here it says what category it belongs to. Same here. We get this one, special issue, drag that here as well. And it's categorized by dragging and dropping. I could also here click on the blue categories and then tick the box to categorize it as well. Okay, so this is how to categorize titles in Citavi Web and in Citavi 6. Now, we come to something that is unique in Citavi. Only Citavi allows you to do this. Let's do it with this article here. And I'll open it a little bit so you can see better. Quotations and comments. Now this is very special. This is a feature that only Citavi allows you to do. You identify information in the web, in the article that you want to use for your publication, for your dissertation, and you mark it, you highlight it. And if this is something that you really find important and that you want to use, you can create a direct quotation by clicking here on the direct quotation button. In this case, it also imports automatically the page number. Doesn't do it all the time because page numbers in PDF files, that's something tricky. Doesn't work all the time. But if in the first knowledge item that you extract, that you create from a PDF file, if you add it by hand, then the subsequent knowledge items will receive the page number automatically. So you have to think about that the first time if it's not automatically already imported, and then for the others that will be done automatically. Okay, so I have created a direct quotation. Let's go on. There's another element that I find interesting, and here I create an indirect quotation. These are my words. Do you know the difference between a direct quotation and indirect quotation? The direct quotation, that's the words of the author, exactly as the author wrote them. And the indirect quotation, that's the idea of the author in my words. It's still a quotation because the idea is not mine, but the author's. But I have to use a quotation, otherwise it would be plagiarism, right? Which is not a good thing. Something to avoid. And if you use Citavi, you completely avoid it, because Citavi not only tells you exactly where the text you're referring to is on the PDF file, so it's linked to the exact position in the PDF file, but also exactly to what article, to what text it refers to, what it is taken from. So you will automatically avoid plagiarism if you use Citavi, because Citavi always tells you, when you insert it in Word, you'll see that later, always tells you automatically where the information is coming from. Okay, let's go on. Another page, and okay, this is something. That's here. Another part that I want to refer to, and I have here the direct quotation, indirect quotation, and summary. Summary is basically the same thing as an indirect quotation. The difference being that an indirect quotation is more or less the same length as the original, whereas the summary is more dense, right? It's shorter than the original. But apart from that, it's the same thing. It's still the author's ideas, not your ideas. So you have to say exactly where you got it from, and that it is something that's not your own thing. Okay. So let's create a summary here. My summary. Okay. Several other possibilities. We'll leave it at that. But there's one more thing that you need to know, because sometimes when you read stuff, all of a sudden you get an idea. You get an idea for your publication, and the idea in Citavi is called thought. Click on it. It's a light bulb. Great. An idea. Okay. And I store it, so I won't forget it. It's in Citavi. Now, where does it appear? It's not here. No, because it does not refer to this text. Otherwise, it would be, or it might be a comment. That's another possibility we have here, a comment. Okay, again, stored here. This is the comment. This is where it comes from. You can see they're all linked to the position in the text. So you can jump back into the PDF to check, double check if what you wrote is correct. And so these are the different types plus the thought. Now let's go over to Citavi Web. Now let me check what text was that. Okay, it's the Carvalho. Citavi Web. Carvalho. Here it is. And I click on the PDF symbol, and I open the PDF file here in Citavi. Make it a little bigger. And you see the elements. Here they are. And here I can also add another one. Another direct quotation. Here, they're down here. Direct quotation, indirect quotation, summary, comment. Another direct quotation. Here it is. Okay. Now, the thought. Here it is. My original thought. Number 2. 2. Okay. Thought number 2. And it is stored not here, because this is the text by Carvalho. So this is how we extract information. It's basically comparable to what people used to do several decades ago. They wrote stuff on index cards. Separate information, one on each index card. This is exactly what Citavi does here. You write the information on index cards. Okay, now I look at the information we collected. These are the elements that are created and that we have here. Knowledge items without categories. This is my idea. And I do the same thing again. I drag it onto the category. Another comment, I drag it onto the category. Here I have a indirect quotation. This is my summary. I drag that also here on this category, on the chapter. And now I move them around to create the outline, to order them the way I want to use them when I write. Like having everything on index cards, and you look at them and then you put them into the order in which you want to argue your points. Because later on, in a second, we'll move over to Word, and there you have the possibility to have all the elements exactly in the chapter available at your fingertips when you want to start writing, which makes it a lot easier than having 600 titles and you have to search for them before you can insert them. You have them right at your fingertips. And how that is done, I'll show you in a second. Let's first go to Citavi Web, knowledge here as well. These are the categories. This is the chapter and the no categories, and I can here as well select one and I can drag it onto the chapter where I want to use it, right? So that's exactly the same thing. Okay, now let's go back to Citavi 6. Now let's go over to Word, because now we have ordered the stuff the way we want it. We want to use it, and now we go and start writing. In Word, you've got two possibilities. You've got the Citavi Word add-in, which has got its own menu here in Word, and you've got the Citavi Assistant. The Word add-in sits on the left-hand side of Word, here. However, as you can see here, it says Citavi 6. This only works with Windows. This only works with a document when you have Citavi 6 installed on your computer. It does not work with Citavi Web directly. So if you want to work in a team and some have Citavi 6 and some have Citavi Web, I do not recommend you work with the Word add-in on the left-hand side, but you all use the Citavi Assistant, which is on the right-hand side of the document. So I close here the Citavi Word add-in, and we'll use here reload the page. This is the Citavi Assistant, log in, Now I'm logged in. This is the project. I open it, and then I have it here available in Word. I've got the categories. You can see here the cause of food fraud with the references and the knowledge, also the elements that are categorized. Now, first, we have all these nice categories, but we don't have them in Word. So that's the first thing we want to do. We want to drag them into Word. All categories without the knowledge items, just the categories. Now Citavi exports the categories into the document as headings. Now I want the numbers as well, so I click on the first one, and then here on the multi-level list, and then I select a list library that uses chapters. Now hang on. Okay, this is strange. It worked before. It should have given the numbers to all of them. I don't know what's happening now. Doesn't matter. Let's leave it at that. Okay, nice thing is now I go into my causes of food fraud and I click on the chapter, and here I have got the references that are categorized and the knowledge items that are categorized. They're all here available directly in each chapter, which makes it so much easier because I don't have to look for them. I have them already all available directly here to work with. And to insert them, let's say here, I can either double click on them or use the tool and insert a page number directly with it. Formats, and now here it says page 78. Now let's insert direct quotation, same thing, double click, insert it with the source automatically behind. Another one, and here as well, and I can even click here on this link symbol and it takes me into Citavi Web. Let's see if that works. It should take me right to the knowledge item I selected. Okay, it's taking a little long. Let's go back to Word. Okay, you can see here the items that are inserted get a tick mark, the knowledge items, and the references that are inserted get a color. They're green. So that's how I can know which items are already inserted and which are not yet, haven't been used yet. So that's an advantage which allows you to know what you have already done and what is still missing. And if I go at the bottom, I have the bibliography automatically inserted with the titles that I refer to in the text. And here, this is the Citavi default style. And if I don't like it, I can change it here. Let's see. Change it to APA 7th in English. Select that one. Click OK. And now save, changes, and format. And it is now reformatting. As you can see, this is APA now. Okay, so this is how you create the document. This was a lot of information, and you probably won't remember everything, but that's not a problem because we have a lot of information available in the support section. Now you don't have to remember or to jot down this this URL. Simply type citavi.com/help, and it will take you to this page where you can find the Getting Started guide and several sources, slideshows, videos, loads of videos, a text that shows you how to analyze PDFs with Citavi 6, very complete, comprehensive guide, the manuals for Citavi 6, Citavi Web, and the Citavi account, knowledge base, the forum, and the help desk. And if you click here, because you couldn't find the solution by yourself, then we will help you from the Citavi support by email. Normally within 1 day, we'll answer your question. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed the show and that you enjoy working with Citavi.